Okay, how about now? Okay, how about now? Agony even. Okay, I plugged in my Ethernet. I'm not ordering you food. Sheesh. All right. Probably won't be able to do Fortnite today. Where am I going to get uranium? This isn't GTA. You can't just break into a military complex single-handedly, steal a tank, and then go into their stash. Why are you putting Coomer faces? You can beat me later. Because me installing is fucking up the quality. No more Fortnite. No more cards. No more $20 Fortnite cards. All right. Let's actually get this thing going. Why don't we? All right, Jubilee. That's what I was trying to say. Okay. So they're trying to find middle ground. And so we'll see how it goes. First of all, I don't know who signs up to be a beta. Like what type of Rolex? No. We're here to watch video, okay? Who's on Twitter right now? All right, I need to get off of Twitter. Okay. Let's take a look at this.
Men should be the stable ones. Men don't need to be crying in front of women. And ideally, they're not splitting chores. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I think that if a woman cannot look up to you in some way, then she cannot respect you. And if she cannot respect you, she cannot love you.
I totally disagree. Totally.
You ever just like say 4 things wrong back to back to back? All right, here we go.
I totally agree. Totally disagree.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. Men.
You wanna play keep calm and nobody explodes? I think we're just I don't know, man. If we have time, once we're done with this, if we got time, then we'll do that. All right.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. Men are designed to want to sleep with multiple women.
I designed? I mean, if we're going with like evolution and like survival instincts, I would think that, yeah, sure, maybe the desire's there. What about men? Yeah, man, I'm designed to sleep with multiple men. You're leaving me out of the equation.
Yeah, I would say I definitely agree that men, want to sleep with multiple women. I think it's natural because one of the things is because we have so much sperm and that we produce so much sperm, and that makes us want to repopulate the earth basically. And so a lot of times what happens is I think that society.
Why is it? When it comes down to population, they always talk about repopulate. Like, the apocalypse has not happened yet. These guys, they so badly want the world to end so they can say that they single-handedly repopulated it. Bro, just eat it.
Is telling men not to do that for whatever reason. You know what I mean? And some guys fall into that. But I definitely believe that, men actually want to be with multiple women because it's just a natural thing in us. This is why you hear all the time, men always cheating and guys feel like they, trying to hide the cheating and everything like that. And if it was natural for them to just want to be with that one woman, then cheating wouldn't even be an issue. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think for the way we were cultured, I agree with that, but also to just through human history, right, for survival, maybe this is old school thinking, but it's just like for survival, you need to have lots of kids. So if someone's pregnant, how do you keep multiplying? You just, more women, right?
I do respect women. I'm married to one. I could have just hit it and quit it, but I said, nah. If they should put a ring on it, and then I put a ring on it.
Not saying it's right or wrong, but it's just kind of the way. I think women even cheat too. It's like 50-50.
Yeah, I think women also want to do their thing, you know what I'm saying, in some situations, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's just men. I think it's a natural, like I feel like because that desire is there, it's a natural thing for, if we're talking specifically men, that desire to want to do it is natural in us, so then therefore you're going to want to do it.
The thing with that, they keep saying, you cheated with woman? What? They'll say like, oh yeah, females have the instinct to want to sleep with a bunch of guys too, and then they'll turn around and say, but never cheat on me. It's never acceptable to do that. You got to go. All right, see you, firecracker.
So I don't think
Thanks
it's
for showing up.
A natural thing to just be with this one woman, but at the same time, when I'm with this one woman, I only want to stay with her. It's almost like I'm lying to myself if I just want to be with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense. But the question is that the end point? Is being with multiple women the end point?
He's got my haircut. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Is that close? Yeah, whatever.
I'm of the firm belief that it is important to position yourself as a man to have the capacity to be with as many women as you possibly can and position yourself in a way where you understand female nature and you maximize your potential as a man. And that's where I don't necessarily agree that just because there's a deeper desire to continue to do it means it's going to be the most optimal thing for you and your own ability to thrive at the highest level and connect with God here on earth.
I was taught not to be with multiple women.
I must connect with God by fucking all these hoes.
Right? But it's like, especially, here's the thing, especially when you're in a relationship, right? It's like, it's better to grow together with somebody than multiple people, which I totally agree. But I think in the dating terms, it's like, there's nothing wrong with being multiple women because I think that's just dating. It's experimenting, it's finding other people. But are we naturally made to just always be with one person? It's like, if that were true, then these first thoughts of being with another woman, even though I'm in a committed relationship, would never occur. But it comes up once in a while. But it doesn't mean I'm acting upon it. So
And you might be being generous about saying once in a while. Probably goes up quite a bit.
it depends what kind of relationship you're in, I guess, or how good of a day it is, right? Like, but I would say for me, if it was totally natural, even though I was nurtured into only being with one woman, that these thoughts wouldn't occur then.
Right. And the thing with me, I'm non-monogamous. So I have a wife, I have a girlfriend, and I still, from time to time hook up with other girls. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it feels regular to me. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to do it or doing it because I'm forcing myself. It just feels just natural, like it's something I want to do. You know what I mean? And so to not do it feels unnatural. You might just want this one woman for a relationship. I can understand that. But sexually, though, I think it's all BS.
Yeah, I agree. I think a man can absolutely be head over heels in love with a woman and still sleep with other women and it not mean anything to him.
Right.
And I think all men have the proclivity to want to sleep with other women. Now, whether they're able to speak to that and actually act on that or not, or if they've been able to, like you said, like religiously find a way to work around it. And I think religion has been great for that, because if it weren't for religion, we probably would not have society. But I think what's most important to identify,
If we didn't have religion, we wouldn't have society. Why are you just spamming random emojis? You spam black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white, black, black, black. baseball, I think, and then mousetrap. I don't know what you're doing.
Is that a man should create choice in his life. And if you have choice, you should be able to do as you wish, particularly like in your case, like in my case, if there's no deceit.
Exactly.
It's the lying. That, in my opinion, is actually the overall problem when guys, tend to go outside of a relationship. They lie to the woman.
Right.
That's the problem.
So when I was growing up, I was under the
All right, so all you got to do is you got to look at your lady and say, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go sleep with a bunch of people. At least you're truthful, I think he's having a seizure, possibly. Yep. Did you take your insulin?
belief. Just
What do you mean emojis are more entertaining? You're entertaining. You could be entertaining. It's fine. You're selling yourself short. I didn't even know some of these were real.
being with one woman, right? Like I was a virgin for a very long time. Then one girl broke my heart. So that caused like a lot of insecurity, resentment towards the other side, right? And then I just became like a man whore for a little bit.
The problem is you have guys who are monogamous, but they're monogamous because they're forced to be monogamous. In a way, meaning that they have no choice because they don't have the skill to attract multiple women.
And a lot of times,
The only way it's okay for you to be monogamous is if you get no bitches. You know what I'm saying?
they'll use that as virtue signaling. I would never do such a thing. Well, actually, bro, you can't.
All right. Can the disagree step forward?
I remember when I would like go on tour and things like that, my friends would always try to encourage me to like,
Angelo, what is this? What is that tattoo? Is it like Inigo Montoya? Is that He-Man? What is this? I forget everything else. Yeah, that's high fashion. I just want to know who this is.
hook up with girls that were on to me, but I wasn't really like into it. And it made me feel like weird, like off, like there was something wrong with me. And now I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I'm only having sex with multiple women, so I'm not weird, so I'm quote unquote normal. I feel like even when I do have sex with these random women, it doesn't give me any gratification. And I know that comes with like random
I only sleep with you, so I don't feel weird and rude. I ran out of lyrics. I don't know.
sex in the end, but I know in the back of my mind that like I just like simply don't enjoy this. Like I've been with multiple women and I've been with one woman, and being with one woman is just so peaceful.
It would be funny if someone just said, "I've never had sex." D. Specifically D after all of that.
As far as like telling young men that they're born this way and that they should feel this way, it can really not do damage, but just sort of make you second guess things about yourself. Am I normal? Am I weird? Is there something off about me? Everyone else around me is saying that I have to feel this way or I have to do these things, but yet I don't feel the courage to do those things.
I would say that's not true, though. I don't think that we should promote men sleep with multiple women. I think that we should promote choice and what feels right to you. So in your particular case, I would never tell you to sleep with multiple women. I think you might be doing the right thing to do exactly
I'd never tell you to sleep with multiple women. You got no chance, boy.
what you're doing and not do it or stop doing it. It's not about pushing it on the young men, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of young men that have a demon inside and maybe are really upset and frustrated with themselves because they feel a certain way. And it's like, oh, I'm coming out the closet. I'm straight, or super straight or too straight or whatever it is. I think that
Man, I'm super straight. Mom, Dad, I'm super straight.
it's really going to be about choice, man. So if me to you, I tell you, if that you don't feel good doing that, man, I wouldn't do it at all.
I'm surprised that Yum Yum is able to watch streams despite his small attention span. Me too, man. Like, I have no idea how this is fulfilling at all to him. Just finding every espresso is entertaining. All right. What do you mean this is so boring? I like hearing these people talk about. Was that a pickle? Is that a cucumber? I don't know what that is.
At all.
Yeah, I agree. In your situation, what was happening, and this is what I think a lot of times what happens is you have guys who will have sex with multiple women because they're trying to fill a void. So it shouldn't be about filling a void. It should be about you actually desiring. So you don't desire to do it, so which is why you shouldn't do it. But there are guys who desire to do it, but then they're suppressing their desire, and then it's doing the same thing as you not wanting to do it. Like they feel weird about not doing it, but they want to. Whereas you felt weird doing it,
Super straight and super male. Absolutely, Sparta.
but you didn't want to.
I think it's a society thing. Like what you just said, who's making them feel guilty about not doing it? Other men. The reason, I think women and men, the question was, do you feel that men are meant to sleep with multiple women? Or they're just, that's what they do. And I don't think that's true. I think it's a part of your character and who you are. I do believe that if you're going to be honest with your partner is into it, but do I believe that we are biologically meant and it's in our head because we have to procreate and this and that? I don't believe that.
Bro, I'm literally getting distracted by chat from all of the emojis that Yum Yum is spamming right now. Like, I look over thinking that, oh, maybe there's a fan that wants my attention. Nope. It's just him doing that. Yum Yum, if you keep doing that, I'm going to time you out, okay? I'm just a little bit fatigued right now.
I believe the reason we do it a lot is because it's looked upon as a great thing for men to have multiple women. Women are shamed for that. Shamed totally. I have one son and two daughters, and I know the difference of how I felt when they were 15. They're in their 20s now. They were 15 versus.
These emojis are more entertaining than your stupid YouTube video. You're just racist. Okay, so I'm going to time you out. And he's out. All right. 69 messages were deleted. Nice.
Him having multiple partners or my daughter.
So if I could,
Incoming Discord messages. Here they come. They're going to say, fuck you, racist, and gay.
struck a check for $1 million and never feel that feeling again, I absolutely would. I really, really would. It's something that I really hated myself for, and I felt very apart. I grew up in the South Louisiana. I was a Bible Belt. And I felt very distant from people around me because I had this urge in me and could not understand why I was so different. Like, the biggest self-hate I've ever felt in my life is over this particular subject. I thought I was broken.
And I understand you. And me, again, I'm going to come back with, just being around it. And me, I'm bisexual. I've always have been. But like you heard me say, I've been married to a woman for 30 years. And I've been committed for 30 years. Doesn't that I don't have that desire. It's my character to say, this is my person. And that's who I want to be with.
So that's what you're making a character versus is the driver.
I was going to say.
Then that goes back to, we just built that way. Because
all right, here come the messages. All right, what's he saying? Bro, why? You want people in your chat, and I was in your chat. I'm sorry if my emojis offended you. That's okay. I'm still not bringing you back, though.
if we're just built that way as men, then there's multiple people that I'm going to want to sleep with.
But I think what I was under the impression with that question was, are we biologically DNA created for that? I say yes, but I loved and I agree with what we're saying here. It's like, but as men, right, in the culture and awareness and being a human being, having a consciousness, choice, language, we can choose not to. We can go against those desires or urges and stuff.
If you feel that desire and you're honest with your partner, I believe that is true. Do I believe that we are biologically meant to, we just biologically want to sleep with more people because we have a penis between our legs and not a vagina? I don't.
Well, let me ask you this, though, because you said you're bisexual. So
What about a cactus? Would my sex drive change if I had a cactus?
that means you're attracted to men and women, right? So if you're with a woman, well, aren't you also attracted to men? So wouldn't you want a man and a woman?
No.
So you just like, I just want one and that's
I made a commitment. And it's not even like I'm...
But
it's
there's
not
no
a-
urge to want
There's always
more?
urge.
That's what that's what we're talking about.
But that doesn't mean that I'm biologically... I think men and women both have urges.
Where do you think the urge is coming from, though, if it's not biologically inside of you?
4chan.
I think the urge comes from... I don't think it's a biological thing. I think we...
temptation, not urge.
I think
The urge comes from femboys on Twitter.
The urge creates temptation, no?
But is temptation bad? Like you say it in a way that's kind of like temptation.
I don't think temptation's
It's
bad.
natural.
I don't think it's a thing of all. Then that goes back to all of us. Then all of us are meant to sleep with multiple people. So then that's just a whole different society thing. But it's not just. The question was, as men, are we? And I don't think so.
But regardless, I think it's important to understand. 'Cause I think we are, and if we can come to terms with that, we can begin to move past it if that's what we desire. But if we reject that idea that it's not natural, then we can't move past it if that's something that someone wants to do.
All right, got another wave of messages. What is Yum Yum saying? I didn't ban you. I timed you out, okay?
But do you agree it's just men? Do you agree with that statement that it's just men?
No, I think it's women too.
Okay. That's where I
yeah.
disagree.
Oh no, because we were just talking men.
Right.
But I agree that it's men and women.
What it sounded like was, and correct me
Dude,
if
I
I'm wrong,
literally just came in. Okay, can we just address this right now? I just came in and I said, like, this is what I wanted to do, and you just come in and you just start saying this video's boring, my emojis are more entertaining. Yeah, there is no free speech in Espresso's chat. Yeah, what do you think? That's how it works. You can't say whatever you want. It's whatever I'm good with. So I pick a subject for something that we're going to do, and then you come in here saying, this is boring, do something else, 1v1 me in Fortnite, every single time. So, no, we're not doing that. I chose to watch this video.
people started talking about like infidelity and, you know, telling the truth. And I think like the urges and things are okay until you act upon it. And that's when both adults just have to have a conversation about, you know, this isn't working out for me. I still want to, you know, sleep around or whatever you want to call it. It sounds like some people want to have their cake and eat it too, which I don't necessarily agree with. But I think just as long as all parties involved have an understanding of what they're getting into, I don't see the issue.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I could say it any better than he did. That, which I feel like most of us or all of us kind of agree upon, that in the end, it is a choice that, like...
Getting distracted here. Harassed on stream gone wrong, I guess so.
If you want to be in a poly relationship, that's fine, as long as everyone's in agreement. Obviously, don't, you know, be in a monogamous...
Hey Ryan, what's up? Real Alpha Giga Super Cypher Male would watch the whole video. Absolutely.
monogamous relationship, and then, you know, like single-handedly choose to, you know, sleep with another woman without telling your partner, like that's when like issues arise.
Hi, this is Ragini, the director of this episode. You can now stream your favorite episodes of Middle Ground on Spotify whenever you like. Please like this video if you enjoy watching it and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's get back to the video. Submissive women are more attractive than dominating women.
Okay, never mind. I unblocked you. Just be on your best behavior, okay?
Oh, hell yeah. You know. Hell yeah. Listen, my shirt says submissive women are sexy.
I'm about to disprove this entire shit right now. You ready for this? Absolutely not. I'm not agreeing with this one bit. One picture. Need I say more? You cannot tell me that there is only one type of woman that you would go for. Yum Yum, you're literally spamming. In fact, that's in my rules, isn't it? Not listening to anyone who dresses like that. You know they're all just broken records. The blue suit is pretty loud, isn't it?
Okay, so
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. Look, I think one of the most beautiful things about love is being able to fully take care of a woman in every way, whether that's emotionally, protecting, providing, everything about that. Like every fairy tale that was ever written for all of time was about a man saving a woman from a castle and a dragon, right? Or some sort of scenario like that. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. And I have nothing against women being empowered, but I do feel like the happiest women in the world are the ones that look up to a man and that he can fight every day to love her and love his kids and his family and provide and be that source of something to actually look up to. Like, I believe a woman.
Do I provide for my woman? I try to. I give her Chipotle with guacamole. Yeah.
Can admire a man, and it's very, very, very healthy. Am I saying that somebody that doesn't do that is not a man? No, I would never. But ideally, the relationships that are going to work, the relationships in, let's say, the 30s, 40s, 50s, or whenever, you know, we were having nuclear families stay together before we went off the gold standard and inflation pushed everybody to
Yes,
have
I'll do
two
extra.
people have to have a job. Yeah, dude, I do. I think those relationships are much
Yeah, these fairy tales are written by men.
happier when the man can lead a house and be proud of going out and going to work every day and fighting for his family. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think what we have to do is we have to look at general female happiness, because that's really what I'm into. Like, I don't really care what guys think or what girls think. I think I have a unique perspective in that I've worked with a lot of high-performing women that operate in this dominant role, and I work with them for the purpose of helping them be able to reintegrate with that more submissive, connected, intuitive part of themselves that really is connected to their bodies, that if they were connected to their bodies wouldn't be as dominant, at least in the presence of men. And with every woman that I've worked with, there is this deep, deep, deep desire, regardless of what she says externally, to submit to the leadership of a man that she knows can properly hold down the emotional space and really put her interest at the forefront.
I'm about to expose all these motherfuckers right now. This is what I want, all right? You want your woman to step on me. Is that too much to ask, fellas?
You're finally awake. I'm doing this to you. What's the problem with that?
With Jat.
Do you not like being on my lap? If you get the chance to rest your head on mine.
I don't like this one.
Hi, baby. How are you?
Fine.
Good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you come into my room for a reason?
I shit myself.
Hmm?
I threw up.
It's okay, baby. You can tell me.
It's not the hub, it's YouTube. Look at this. What the fuck am I showing this?
I like when you use your words. So, tell me, why did you come into my room?
I threw up.
Were you missing me? Yeah, is that it?
You can't tell me that no grown man has never once thought like, yeah, this is pretty good. What do you mean that's even worse? The fact that it's on YouTube? We don't need to know what you do. And what is that? Wait. Do you assume that I do things? That is absolutely wrong. How dare you assume that of me? My life's over. Let's just get back to the video, okay?
Right, because when a woman is dominant over that man, she can't respect him. It's just impossible. Right, exactly. And the thing is with submission is like if you even look at the word submission, sub under a mission. If I have a mission and this woman is under my mission, meaning I'm leading her, right? Then that is a actual good relationship that's going to flourish.
Truly, deep down, every woman would.
We all know you hit people who shit on the floor. What is that supposed to mean?
An actual good relationship that's going to flourish.
Truly, deep down, every woman would love nothing more than to be more feminine in a role, in a family, and take on either that motherly role or that nurturing role, or the role that feels supportive to the overall mission of a man. It's just got to be a man worth getting behind, and weak men are the reason why this is a problem. Case in point, look at the workplace. You don't see women.
It's just the top right. It just says, should women be drafted? I don't know why you're asking me that now. Bro's rapping.
Applying for jobs to be power line guys or hang steel at steel companies. They're not picketing outside of the United States Army being like, why won't you draft me? They don't want that smoke, bro. Like and that's okay.
Right.
And I can't say enough. It's like, as a man, like, you get to take pride in taking care of a woman, protecting women.
Bro.
What about your daughters, man? You want to protect.
Bro, men will literally just say like, hey, I'm the one who's supposed to get shot in the face on the battlefield, not you, you submissive woman. Go back to the kitchen while I go get shot at.
To provide, care for them. That's okay. Let them be feminine. A strong man doesn't need you to be a man. He say, fine, you can be a woman. You're safe, sweetheart. You come with me. Right. That's it.
There were just a few things that I disagree on. I think that in 2023 especially, I think women just want to be able to look to the side and see their partner as an equal.
Why can't women take care of me? I feel like there are subreddits for that. Is there a subreddit for good boys looking for dommy mommies? I'm never saying that sentence again. Just forget about it.
And I think a lot of women now I don't think they're trying to be men. I think what they're realizing is that the qualities that they were looking for in men, they've always had it within themselves. If women are submissive, it's mostly for, I want to say, like, the validation for the man. I think they know in the back of their heads, like, they know now that they can do things on their own. I don't think they necessarily need a man, but I think what they're looking for is that intimacy to have a partner. But
This is the back and forth. That's
Oh no, they do, because
something along that line. But yes, that exists. Sauce. Sparta needs that right now. What is it? I will go look right now. If you put r/whatever. I need to know what this is. This is the thing that keeps coming back and forth. The alpha males are going to say, yeah, women don't necessarily need to do that, but they should do that. It's just going to be like that with every single topic. It's not r/scat. There's no shot. God damn it, I'm missing my tweets. I told XQC to drive his car through a Dairy Queen, and it's got a few hundred likes. It's a pretty good time. Yeah.
A lot of these girls, they usually go home and cry at night from being lonely, from not having a man. They have all these things, and then they're upset they don't have a man. You know what I mean? And I heard you say,
yes, of course, because that's how every woman reacts. This just in, we've interviewed every woman on earth, and the conclusion is clear. Every single woman cries at night and is lonely. According to who? The guy who has the submissive women are sexy t-shirt. Femdom Personals. Finally. After all these years. No, I'm joking. Take the survey. It'll take 10 minutes. I don't want to take no fucking survey. What is the top all-time post here? Is it just like numerous men like going after the same woman? Avoiding shit doms and staying safe online. No, I'm not going to. No. I just want to see if these kinds of things exist. Fat life and then just Twitter. Guys, there's 3 things that I do in life. I stream, I tweet, and then I get stepped on. That is the range of my hobbies. I need nothing else. This is a roller coaster. I'm learning so many things today.
Say that, you know, women want to be the man's equal, but you don't see, and maybe this could just be a societal thing, a societal pressure, but you don't see women doing things that could make them equal to the men. You don't see the women approaching the men. You don't see the women paying for the dates. You don't see the women being more assertive to the man.
That's so not true. This guy's like basing all of his evidence on like his own experiences. There's absolutely no way you can convince me that there was not a single woman who like paid for a date.
You know what I'm saying? So where's that at?
Cause they got options. They got so much more options than men.
Well, I'll tell you what you do see. You see a high level of women on antidepressants,
American
more than ever,
dream.
right? And I think that's a bunch of women trying to cope with trying to be like a man when really, let me ask you a question. Are you more attracted to a woman that has a high-paying job or to a woman's beauty?
That doesn't matter to me.
It does matter. It does matter.
No, it doesn't. What are you laughing at?
You could, but I would like to say a mother figure rather than a woman.
Absolutely not. But I would like to say that
He really thought he did something there. He said, would you rather a girl that's hot or's got money? Ooh, tough question, right?
saying that women, you know, have a higher, you know, have antidepressants, but men, I'm a social worker, so men 1 out of 10 are more likely to experience depression, but more likely to go undiagnosed and not seek therapy or help. So I do think, and women also, you have to
I'm in the way,
consider
aren't I?
the fluctuation in hormones, pregnancy, because that can alter, you know, their mental health. So I think that's kind of a moot point, but I feel like, you know, I'm not looking for a mother figure, I'm looking for an equal. So I feel like with, you know, if we're saying that women, you know, they're like going home crying, looking for men, I think it's also that societal pressure that tells you.
How is this guy a beta? Look at those arms. Jeez, this guy could lift a truck. Like for a magazine cover. It's typically the pattern of alphas only basing their worldviews on their personal experiences. Exactly. That was the whole thing with Andrew Tate's women causing more car accidents. And everybody was like, well, here are the stats, here are the stats, here are the stats, all of these different things. And then he's like, okay, well, it's always been women for me. Beta's a mentality. I don't even know. Dude, this guy, if he's got the beta mentality, he's got the alpha. If he's got the beta mentality, he's got the alpha physicality. Look at those arms.
You at the same time, you have to have multiple women. They're telling the women you have to have that one man, that husband by a certain age, have kids by a certain age. There's more pressure on them than there is men. And for, you know, lack of a better term, I think men have gotten off a lot easier because
Now bad for the beta.
women have so much pressure and they get judged more harshly than men do for talking about back then when men used to go home, bring home the bacon or whatever, you know, the domestic violence rate was pretty high during that time. And I'll also say that for people of color, we never really.
These men are actually closer to the betas they sell to, and they're scared of that, whereas these so-called betas are always more in tune with themselves, whatever that looks like. Yeah, like that guy was literally saying, he was like, I was broken up with, and now I'm really insecure about myself, and now, like, I don't know exactly what he said, but from what he's telling us, he does not want a committed relationship. He wants to have that openness because he's got a wife and a girlfriend and bangs a bunch of girls.
really had the luxury of working one job. So my parents, you know, their parents before them, everybody always had to work, man and woman. So there was always that equal opportunity for them to be able to see that they could do it together as opposed to put that one pressure. And I also would like to ask, if you guys find submissive women more attractive than dominant women, is that because it makes you feel more validated as a man, or is there something there that you feel like feeds into your purpose as a man?
Yeah, well, it's a balance. If I'm a dominant person,
Nah. It's the validation. He's gonna come in here and say, yeah, I do both of those things. No, you had your heart broken, and now you're trying to find someone that will like you for who you are.
and I need a submissive. If I meet a dominant woman, we're gonna butt heads.
What if that changes? Like, what if she grows? Because I would love everybody to be able to grow throughout life. What if she starts becoming more dominant? Is that like a
Are you saying if she starts becoming more dominant in our relationship?
more dominant or equal to your dominant?
Oh yeah, she's gone. She's finished.
Babe, if your paycheck is $1 higher than mine, get the fuck out of my house.
And see, that's my thing. Like, look, I got children. I don't need somebody else to take care of. And I love your thing about, you know, the Prince Charming and everything. But you know what I need? I need a badass woman who can match my badass energy. I work with my wife, and I'm going to tell you, I take care of her. She takes care of me, and she's badass. And that's what I'm attracted to. I don't need a submissive that I have someone to take care of. And then it's fine. You know, if she goes through that, but then I'll be there, and I will take care of her. But I'm not looking for somebody, another child to take care of and have to dominate and tell, you go over there. This is where we're going to go to.
I just now noticed his name, Mr. Locario. You literally are calling yourself an alpha, and you're named after a Pokemon. CEO, mommy.
Dinner. We're going to do that. Now, that's why what he was saying, I was going to bring that fact up too. A lot of men are depressed because they're putting on this shield of I have to be the leader. I have to do this. And you know who goes to get help first? Women.
Okay, that totally makes sense. I think if we're talking about men not ever dealing with their emotions, it makes sense for this argument that you guys are talking about. But I'm the firm believer. I have gotten a lot of therapy in my life. I've done a lot of things for myself personally to resolve my own internal conflict. Okay, so it's a job of alpha men. The real integrated alpha man has the capacity to understand what he's feeling, why he's feeling the way that he is, articulate in a way that is productive to the dynamic. So a real man is someone that understands himself deeper at an emotional level, has taken the time to do that so he can show up as a rock, not so he can show up more emotionally.
Problem is that if you're super emotional, when we talk about the whole thing of being submissive or dominant, your woman is going to dominate you because you're so emotional.
Emotionally unstable. Let's say that. It's let's stop using emotion. Let's start using emotionally unstable.
Right. Since you're so emotionally unstable, she's going to dominate you, and then she's going to lose respect for you, and that's going to teeter the waters of the relationship.
So, I mean, you guys know dominatrix exists for a reason. And by the way, I used to personal train at dominatrix. You guys are their clients.
Not me, cowboy.
I'm being serious. Like, it's a very hidden thing. I used to date them.
He just had to say it. He was like, yeah, man, you would all get stepped on. Not me, though.
High positions of power, very alpha. But, like, here's the thing. I think you guys put a little bit too much pressure on yourselves. It might be a societal thing. I've dated submissive women before. I find them highly annoying. Sometimes I just want somebody to pick a choice. I like her places. She's got better taste than I do when it comes to that kind of stuff. So please go ahead. We do butt heads once in a while because she is dominant. But does that mean she lost respect or attraction for me? No, not at all. And trust me on that one. So I think it does depend on your energy. You have a very high one, right? Maybe it doesn't mix well with somebody who also has a really high dominant energy. I'm not saying that's wrong because they exist for a reason, submissive people, right? But I just think for me, when it's very submissive, I don't find that as sexy. I find that annoying.
But see, and that makes sense. And the reason why, what happens is the more masculine you are, the more you want the woman to be submissive. The more.
Why do you think he's called Mr. Locario? Is it because his first name is like Winston? Or like Willie? and they're gonna look at his name and be like, "Oh fuck, oh god, why is that my name? I gotta get rid of it."
Dominant she is, then the more.
I don't know. I think I'm pretty fucking masculine, dude. And I don't want somebody that submissive.
I'm saying that in that moment you're in your feminine, but go ahead.
If you and your wife have like a conversation about a disagreement, and then you guys like a healthy conversation, and then she ends up being right in the situation, would you consider her dominating me?
No, I consider her right.
So what's your definition of like dominant? Like you always have to be right? And
No, it's not about right and wrong. It's about who's running the show.
so by her being right, is that not her running?
No, that's just her being right in that conversation.
Yeah, a good leader would allow someone else to be right. A good leader doesn't have to be right. He wants the team to win. In fact, I'd call a man insecure if he wouldn't allow a woman to be right on the subject she was clearly.
I like that.
I do like that. And, it goes back to the question of, like, what do you find more attractive? Because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's a preference.
What's the preference? It's a preference. One of the things you said is, like, when you and your partner
Yeah,
or
he likes
girlfriend get
Pokemon.
into something and it's, like, a little heated, like, I get off on that.
Me, I totally don't get off on that. Like I don't need any back talk. I don't need any lip. I don't need any attitude. It's my way or the highway. Like I don't want none of
I
it.
didn't even have a conversation in the first place about the disagreement.
You're not having that conversation.
No.
So you just want to be challenged. You want to be challenged.
Like no back talk. I'm right.
That's a different thing. If we're talking about a topic and she's right about the topic, that's just how I was talking about the
Like
topic.
an opinion of yours or things that you
No, I'm talking about.
disagrees with.
If you're making an opinion, you're saying you want no back.
No. I'm not talking about opinions. I'm talking about decisions. So we can have a conversation about a topic, but when it comes to a decision, the final decision is mine.
Let me change my word. If we were to have a healthy discussion about a decision, which she disagrees.
She says, I disagree.
Right. She said, so if we say, hey, she wants to do A, B, and C. And I say, no, I want to do D, E, and F. Right?
Doing that.
We're doing D, E, and F at the end of the day. Now, I will listen to what she says. And if I think A, B, and C sounds better, then I say, okay, yeah, let's do A, B, and C because that sounds
back
better.
talking.
Nah, you can't just date a love doll because it doesn't have a vagina. You got. Wait a second. Yeah, all right. Just date a love doll. Yeah, sure.
In the first place.
No. That's
Good idea.
no.
In the conversation.
No, that's what I'm saying. If we're having a conversation, that's cool. I'm saying the final decision though is mine. So you can speak your mind, but at the end of the day, I'm making the final decision.
So it's like, I'm gonna let you talk.
Yeah,
but,
let you
like,
talk. Yes.
In the end, I don't really care. I'm gonna do what I want.
No, I said I care.
I do want to touch upon the.
One more thing with like let's clarify submissive. Let's not get that mistaken between incompetent. Like submissive does not mean incompetent, and I think you might have been talking about women that could be incompetent, where they don't have the capacity to take care of themselves.
Their audience sees them as enemies after watching them long enough. Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's see what they let's see what they say.
At all or make any type of decision. So I think there's definitely a difference in how she shows up in the relationship compared to being able to make decisions in her everyday life.
Sure, but he doesn't want them to make decisions.
No, I didn't say I didn't want them to make decisions.
I'll say this.
No, your decision's the final, no matter what.
Some of the strongest women in the world right
He's gonna say, "Yeah, you can make decisions. It's just we're not gonna do that." Go ahead.
now are sitting in submissive roles because they're strong enough to think for themselves and do what they feel good in their heart. Because there are women that do want to be submissive naturally. And some of those women are the strongest women in the world right now, especially when the world's telling them to go be something that they don't want to be.
I do agree that honestly it is a choice, it's a preference. We shouldn't speak upon like everybody. Obviously, like it's always a gray area. It's a range. It's not one side or the other. And if you guys want to be in a relationship where the woman is submissive and the woman also wants to be in a relationship where
You'll get into it later, but it's a whole thing. Okay, let me reconsider what you're saying. Might be dating women, but I guarantee that their audience sees them as enemies after watching them long enough. Yeah, like once you start like picking at someone's brain, I guess, and like you get into like what they actually believe and stuff, like they probably don't expose all of that. Or they're dating women that are like, oh yeah, totally, I want a man that does everything for me and like slaps me and hits me against the coffee table and I won't do anything. I'm seeing them on Twitter more and more. Why is Dream tweeting? I gotta get off of this thing.
the male is dominant, that's completely fine. But the thing I want to talk about more is the fact that like you guys keep saying that like this is what women want, or that like all women want this. who are we to decide what women want? Because first of all, we're not women, and second, just because of
Put that on a t-shirt. We are not women.
our personal experiences in our lifetime about the people we've interacted
Yeah,
with,
the trad
I feel like
wives.
that's something we need to take a step back from and clarify that, like, no, this is just my personal opinion. In the end, we don't know what women want. Woman knows what they want, not men.
I have yet to see a relationship because I would say a relationship dynamic that is optimal has deep connection where you could say there's a deep friendship there, but also there's sexual polarity. And I've seen dynamics where there is a great friendship there and there is connection and they do live very cohesively. But when the woman is more dominant, the majority of the time, I've yet to see a dynamic where consistently over time, there is strong sexual polarity on her end in a dynamic.
And that,
He needs to watch more hentai then. That's not a thing that, like, if you watch red pill content long enough, they start becoming distrustful and more paranoid of women, and since they feed off each other, descend into incel territory. Yeah, that bubble where it's like all women desire to be, like, that's their deepest desire. Women are stupid and dumb and, like, they must be taken control of or else we're gonna get nowhere. That kind of thing. Yeah. That's it's also those people when they say, like, if you want to be a fisherman, you don't ask a fish. Hi guys, my name is Yum Yum. Hi Yum Yum. I'm glad you're here. I just don't want you to spam. That's really it. And I don't want you to come in here and say, hey, your content choice sucks. Look at my emojis. That's really it. Other than that, I love having you here, okay? I love having everybody here. Speaking of woman. Here, let's ask Sarah. Shoot, what should I ask her? Biscuit090. Okay, let's see. Do you think a woman's deepest desire is to be dominated by a man? She says no. I'll cut back to her every now and then and see if we can get anything else.
that's fine. Like, if that's what you've seen in your lifetime, that's completely fine. Like,
But I think
but then that's
evolutionary
your,
biology says that. I don't think it's just my personal opinion. I don't think, but like,
Probably you just surround yourself with.
yeah, like, that's just saying. It's like, just because you've grown up in a certain area where, like, people are like that, because, like, I could say the same thing, but on the other side, where I've seen plenty of people and plenty of relationships where, like, that wasn't the case, but then they're, like, sexually fine, you know, that they're perfectly fine, their polarity is completely fine, and they're happy.
She doesn't know she's a woman. Sarah, do you know you're a woman? All right, she said yes.
And I could say the same thing. I could keep going at you saying that, like, oh, because of what I've seen or what I've experienced, dominant men, it won't work. But then that's dumb because there are cases where dominant women do work, but there's also cases where it doesn't.
No, it's all
When they're happy, they're probably not going out saying, I'm so happy, I'm dominant, I'm a woman. They're not going around saying that. You know, they're just happy. They stick to themselves.
Yeah, you can't go around saying that. Like you're walking in the park and you're saying, hey, everybody, I'm a woman and I'm dominant. I will step on you and call you a bad boy while you're chained to my floor. That's not exactly a thing you're going to hear on a daily basis. I don't know what's more cringe, identifying as an alpha male or beta male. I'll be a beta male. Fuck it. At least I don't have to be associated with these people.
Most of the time when that happens.
I am great at sex.
Come on. Everybody, please.
I mean,
please.
I have a lot to learn.
Now that's just a man response. That has nothing to do with it anymore.
right now.
Bro, this was a chance to redeem yourself.
No, I know, but it's just.
All right.
Actually, I'm gonna go back.
With my partner, my wife, I'm able
Damn.
to not only connect physically, but also emotionally. You know, and then I think that's the biggest trick I've
All
learned.
of them are
Not trick,
like,
but the thing
this
I've
is an
learned.
ego thing. This is not even an alpha beta thing at all.
It's about my years of being with my partner. You have to sort of like, you know, keep the spice going.
I would say, you know, I think the fact that we have a woman who keeps coming back or who keeps wanting it, I think that, you know, that's a sign that she thinks you're great at sex. You know what I mean? Because she actively wants to keep it going and keep it going in that direction.
Or he's or he's emotionally and manipulative, and she believes that being with him is the only thing that's going to grant her any type of satisfaction in life. They don't always come back because you're good. Wait, why am I making this point? This is shallow. Never mind.
I will say, though, I'm better at sex with women I care about. Yeah, you know, so I think, and me being a player and a guy who goes out and talks to a lot of different women, you know, if with my girlfriend or like my wife or whatever like that, sex would be great. With the other girls, it can still be good, but I know that I don't really put in that much effort because it's almost like I'm masturbating with someone.
That's not very alpha of you to say. You don't go 100% every single time. Jeez. Tag me in. No, I can't do that.
You know your partner's like comfortability, what they like, what they don't like, and things, and that's how you make sex a lot better instead of like sleeping with.
1,000%. Plus, you love them.
Right.
Like, so you knew if you were gonna die today and you could have sex with one person before you die, it would be that person.
Barack Obama. Okay, moving on.
Like, no matter what, like you could have every supermodel, every movie star, everything. Like, fuck all that. Like, I want that person.
Focus so much on like what they like as well, you know, like you're kind of there to like pleasure them, you know, because you care about them so much.
Right.
Which is why like you would hyperfixate on like what do they like, what they don't like, and you can easily like adjust yourself and put in effort for that person.
And like, for instance, it's so true that you said that, because my wife and I, we have this thing we call the love menu. Okay, you know, why did we invent the love menu? We invented the love menu because we have 3 children. And they're only 2 years apart. They're in the mid-20s now. But, you know, think about it. 2, 4, 6 at home, and I'm working, and she's doing her thing. So we found that in our young relationship, sometimes the other person might be tired and like...
Bro, he's standing back there as the guy that is not good at sex, but he's still got to look cool doing it. He's just, oh, man. I'm not good at it. But I can't let this vibe drop.
But that's hurt feelings. That makes you kind of do this type of thing. So what we did is we come up with a love menu of like, here's the appetizers. I might not be ready for the full course tonight, but here's your appetizer because I know you like this. Or here is your dessert, or here's your main course meal. And we broke it into those things. So when we do come to each other and we need that connection, it's not just like, I'm tired, I don't feel like it. It's kind of like, well, what's going to happen? We have a full course meal tonight, or we're just going to have some appetizers. And that's kept it spicy for us. And also, like what you say, making sure we're pleasuring each other. It's not just...
All right, well then who's paying the bill? Usually I have to pay for that. Wait, that's illegal. Never mind. If I was going to die, I'd rather just spend a day with my family. Sex is not going to be on your mind. Yeah. I think I would be like, I don't understand the concept of someone's last meal. It's like you're on death row and they ask you, hey, what do you want for your last meal? It's like, who cares? I'm gonna be dead. Like, no amount of food is going to make me forget about that. Derek continues to spit flames and facts. He looks like he like drinks herbal tea, meditates with hedgehogs, and then like occasionally partakes in marijuana. And so he's just like enlightened out of his mind right now.
Just wham bam, thank you, ma'am, I need to get my rocks off. But like, you know, how are you feeling about that? And how are you feeling about that? Because when you're in a long-term committed relationship, you have to do that or it dies.
Right.
And I love that. I love that you talk about the amount of intention that you live with in regard to making sure that you're always evolving with it, always making sure that it's spicy. You just care. I think if you have a genuine care for the other person that you're involved with, then maybe you're not great right then and there, but it will eventually develop into being something that way. So I love that care that you demonstrate with that.
Oh, interesting.
You can literally order any and every food around the world and you don't care about that. Yeah, 'cause I'm gonna be dead. What if I order something that like takes a long time to get there? Like if I want authentic, homemade, like spicy curry from India, and they have to ship that thing on a boat. Get some McDonald's ice cream. But that's literally not even what they do. Like serial killers on death row, they don't order the fancy stuff. They're just like, give me an entire bucket of KFC and strawberries. They have professional chefs. They just make it in-house. Nothing is being imported. Hold on. Now I'm curious. What is the protocol with final meals? See if anything shows up. Okay, I found this. A Japanese pop-up served the last meals of death row inmates to diners. Oh, I read that wrong. I thought it was inmates were fed like their last meal from a Japanese pop-up. Someone watches Hugbees. I gotta watch more Hugbees. He sounds intelligent. I saw his video of I didn't watch any of it. Some hardcore dude asked for a single cherry pit for his last meal, poisoned himself. Hell yeah. If you're gonna take me out, I gotta do it first. Some protocols have been put into place where it's banned for everyone because one person ruined it for everyone. Yeah, man. Like, why do you gotta ruin death for us? Like, come on. Think about the other people trying to die after you.
So what you had to say? You've been very quiet on this one. You usually like.
All he said was, "Look at the receipts." You know, he knows it.
and look, and that's a very important thing, right? Is so I think that as a man, I hate to say, actually I don't hate to say, that you should come in confidently. And I do find by and largely, it's kind of like you could have the alpha beta argument. I do that thinking coming in kind of in a dominant way. There's a reason 50 Shades of Grey is so popular. There's a reason it's the most read book of all time. There's a reason there's detail in it. And I think you can say so much to a woman in sex without saying a word.
I also want to say, however, 50 Shades of Grey is not an accurate representation of safe BDSM. In fact, it's very abusive and manipulative without any safe words or precautions put in place. It is just violence, and then she was okay with it, fortunately. So I don't want to see what that guy has in store.
You know what I'm saying? It's about how you touch her, how you have your hands on her, the way you take over her in that way. And that's okay. Just knowing and seeing that expression and seeing things that happen and as a result of that is enough for me to know where I stand on the subject.
The only thing I disagree with you about is I agree with that energy.
Hold on. I just got a tweet. It says, I Show Speed accidentally bought a fedora in Roblox for around $125,000. I just had to read that. Hey, Doom Guy followed me. Cool. That's a classic.
That take control energy. And I think one woman does love that. But sometimes my wife likes to take control. And I love it.
Well, get up there, girl. Get up there, girl, and do what you got to do. You know,
So, like,
I'll put my hands behind my head too. Yeah, cowboy. Hey, don't worry. Yeah. But by and largely, yes. And then when she wants to, but even when you're on bottom, man, you still doing work, bro. It's all about dancing, bro.
I don't want to get naked, but I have sex tattooed on my chest. Can I?
Where?
Bro, it wouldn't take much.
It's right here on my rib.
Okay. All right. And it's like an old one.
It's right here on my rib.
Okay.
It's in like impact font. What font is that? That's like Arial bold. Not even anything fancy. It's like a grocery store label. Sarah, come here. Come here. Come here. She's inchworming closer. How much money would I have to acquire in it by why am I messing this up? How much money would I have to be paid to get this tattooed on my chest? $2. Got it. You have $2 on you? No? All right. Guess I'm not getting it. Sorry, guys. You're playing Minecraft. I'm glad.
All right, and it's like an old one too. Not even like a.
I think the biggest thing I've ever heard from my sexual partners is like, wow, you really caught me off guard. And I think that's like a big part of it.
So is this like an argument with myself?
Tell us why you're terrible at sex.
You missed it. He stripped.
No, I did see that. I saw that. I disagreed because I just feel like it's such a typical conversation and belief that every guy believes they're great at sex. And to be real, when I talk to my girlfriends, none of them have good sex with guys unless it's, like you guys said, your partner. Then you can get better at it, right? And you know what they like. So that's what I mean. Like, I think I'm great with my girlfriend, but if I was to generate and say, like, I'm great at sex, I'd be like, oh, I didn't, almost every girl I slept with before probably never even got off, really. But to say, like, I'm great at sex, I can bring a dildo in, like, it's just like, I mean, I'm nothing against that. Like, I like all kinds of things.
I didn't mention a dildo.
Why'd you look at me like
You brought it up.
I was wondering why you said that.
No, I'm just saying though, like, you still looked at him. You look like the type. No, I'm kidding. I didn't get that. But it's like,
We know what that blue suit's trying to cover up right now. You like dicks, don't you, Squidward? That's a good few grand right there. Maybe.
like I just feel like, there's a lot for me to learn even now with my partner. And I just like to say I'm great. I don't say that to myself because I think that blocks me from something that I might not be good at, actually.
No, I agree. I completely agree with the aspect that, like, honestly, there's always room for growth. Like, going around thinking that you're like the best is like is not something that I agree with, but more so that, like, especially with someone that, like a partner, like that you actually want to give the effort into, you learn, like, it doesn't always have to go like perfect the first time. You pick up things, like, everyone's different, man and woman. So, like, honestly, like,
But that's what when that question says I'm great at sex, like, that to me tells me you could line up 10 girls and 9 out of 10 you would know exactly what to do.
Sometimes
with
it's just like a confidence thing. Like, I am confident that I can achieve good sex.
Exactly, right. Cause that's what I'm saying. Because the thing is, I look at it like, because you're saying, well,
Yeah. Of course he's confident in it. He literally has it tattooed on him. The blue suit guy gives off a vibe. He's way too yassified for this. It's the southern voice. What did he say? South Carolina is where he grew up. I forgot what he said. But yeah, he's got that cowboy in him. It just, we don't know what he's riding. Is he riding horses or other cowboys?
being the best, you can't really say being the best, but I disagree. I look at it as I am the best, but I'm choosing to be great with this person. And so what I'm saying is I can be really great with this one other girl, but I choose not to. And I do that purposely. And the reason why
you're saying the only reason you're not good is because you choose not to. Yeah, guys, I didn't hit the home run to win the game because I just chose not to, Like, I know I could if I wanted to, but nah. World Series, that's just an empty cup. That's just like what Lightning McQueen and Doc Hudson say.
I do it purposely is because, like I was saying earlier, when we talk about friends with girls and all that other stuff, is that women have to earn good dick. That's how I look at it. You understand what I'm saying? So if I'm with a woman where I just met you at the bar and we're just hooking up, I'll give you some like
Ram Ranch or Clint Eastwood? That's a good question. Put that on a motivational poster. Are you Ram Ranch or Clint Eastwood? Buy Prime Energy.
I should say women should earn great, but I'll give her some good. But it ain't gonna be great because you haven't earned it. You're not my girl. You haven't done anything.
You're not gonna go the extra mile for.
Right? Exactly. I'm not gonna go the extra mile for a new girl. Like,
I agreed with the.
Here's the thing that I disagree with that. It's like there is also satisfaction in knowing that the other person has satisfaction. If you're just okay, then I'm gonna feel only okay. I wouldn't know though.
I agree with the mentality, but then not the stage of it.
Right, I'm just not gonna do all that for a new girl. I'm not gonna do that. So I can't. What I'm saying is that the greatness comes from within you to know that you can, but you have to make the decision to do that. And I think most guys, if they care about a woman, they'll do that because that woman, in some form or fashion, has earned that type of energy from him. And that's how I look at it.
You can do a lot of things. Like people can do a lot of things. It's not the deciding part that's hard. Okay, what if you decide and then they still say it's bad? Did you really have it in you to begin with? I don't know.
It's like I completely agree, but I just want to change the word earn to something else. Something similar, but that means a little different. Because like you don't want to give as much effort to like other people that you don't really you see like long term with. But then like obviously if it's like a partner or someone that you can see a future with, you know that you can keep, you know, improving. You can be like the best, you know, for that person.
Who thinks that great sex is more mental or more physical? Which one would you raise your hand?
Well, which one? Say
Okay.
one of
You
them.
do
Who
both.
thinks that great sex is more mental?
I mean, I think it's more mental.
Okay. Okay. Who thinks great sex is more physical?
The reason why I sat down and then I stepped back is because stepping down, sitting down, it was just kind of like that societal pressure of, you know, we all agree like men have to be really great at sex. And I had to check myself out of my ego and take a step back because it can't be 9 out of 10. It has to be 10 out of 10. I know I've had, you know, one night stands and I can't account for every single partner that I've had if they had a great experience or not. I could just be honest with myself and say I did my best, but you know, for whoever is going to be my partner next, you have to.
You just wake up the next day and say, "Wow, babe, so good. Would you mind filling out a 10-minute long survey? It will help us provide better experiences for those in the future. Thanks." And if you do, you'll be submitted to our raffle to win a free $5 Amazon gift card. And then after taxes, it'll be $2. You can buy a singular stick of bubble gum and then pay $5 shipping. This was stupid. All right, let's go.
To have that, like that sense of like open-mindedness in a way, because what they might think they want from you to make you great, you might not agree with even trying. You know, I get what you're saying about women having to earn great. But I feel like at the same time,
Why is it so funny coming out of your mouth?
I feel
Because
like
he sounds so serious when he says it.
I told you I'm a comedian. I feel like at the same time, you know, women's needs are a lot different than men's in bed. So what might be, you know, easy for you, like a quick one.
Right, please tell me where I can work at Sex Industries. They show you an iPad asking for a tip on it. If it's like a tip on how to do better, but in that case, that's illegal, unless you're in Las Vegas.
Too, they're expecting, you know, maybe more foreplay or more physical intimacy, or, you know, and with the whole like BDSM with like 50 Shades of Grey, I think that appeal to like a certain subset of women and their fantasies, but I don't think that accounts for all women.
I think it's a great fantasy, but I think if you put most women like really say, "Do you want that?" They'd be like,
Nah, they really want it.
Women should not be in position of power.
Here we go.
Game over. Just like his hand says.
I'm the only one. I think A woman can be in a position of power only.
That's actually super interesting. He's the only one. I was expecting way worse.
By herself, but not in relation to being in a relationship with a man. Because when she's in a relationship with a man, the man has to be the leader. The man has to be the one that's guiding the situation, directing the situation. If it's in any other situation by herself with work, with her friends or whatever, she can do whatever she wants
The man has to crash the plane. Got it.
to do.
Game over. Your game is over.
I first want to ask because there was a lot of like
That's honestly super encouraging. Yeah, true colors are going to show up. I feel like there's some people. You know how they keep talking about the bad eggs? I feel like it's the exact same thing with the alpha males. They're saying like, wow, if you're associating with these people, you're a terrible person. It's like, well, no, maybe it's just like another bad egg situation. That's actually really interesting to think about. How it's like an entire group that is typically associated with something that's terrible and stupid, like also just has some bad actors in it.
have tos, but like not really a reason behind it. Like, can I ask like what's your reason behind like why a man has to be in power? Why can't a woman be in power?
Power is such a weird word. I would say more like the leadership role. And the thing is that a man has to lead a woman. He has to guide a woman, because what happens is that when it's the opposite, when a woman is leading that man, she usually loses respect for him.
Look at the way he's sitting right now. That is a man that is listening. His hands, you know what? I might have to copy this. Why do they all have their hands? Is he trying to copy him over here? He's like, oh shit. I got bad knees. I can't put them up like that. The hands, okay, hands, I could do that. I'm gonna look down. I'm gonna get some blue dye for my suit. I'm gonna DoorDash some blue dye, and I'm gonna cover it all over myself. Then I will be more alpha.
When she's in a relationship with a man who is, under her, who's submissive to her in a lot of different situations, then she starts to lose respect for him because she's looking for a man to lead and guide her. If you notice, they have sex with the bad boys, but then the nice guys get tossed to the side. You see, why is that? You see what I mean?
Oh God, you're telling me that's a thing? Wah! Almost dropped my phone on my penis. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing the hands. I'm not seeing the legs, though. I hope that doesn't come synonymous with him. I hope that's not just, like, a bad sign, because it's a cool pose. I would pose like that. He looks like he knows a thing or two when he stands like that.
Well, if you look at them psychologically, they have past traumas and issues probably. But like, look, there's women for you, right? I mean, like, you're on a different scale. What I would say, some women want a guy like you because they don't want to do anything, right? They don't want to take that position.
Sorry, Ryan. Yeah, it's sometimes the messages don't go through. I don't know what it is. How many slurs did you say? Are you just checking back in now? Have you been listening at all? What do you mean? Yeah, I said chocolate. Chocolate is illegal. Chocolate is offensive against people that can't have sugar.
I'm around a lot of women who don't want that. They're in positions of power, not just in work, career, at home. I know a lot of them. I do business. I find women much more pleasant to do business with. But when you're talking about maybe being at home, I don't know. It's just like, I think when you get into your part, your end of the pond, it can get a little bit mucky. You know what I mean? And I don't really subscribe to that as well.
I heard you say you were from New York. I lived in Manhattan for 30 years as a fashion designer in the heart of Manhattan. She was working as a fashion editor.
Yeah, fashion. Wait. Oh wait, did he say he was, or did she?
I don't really subscribe to that as well.
I heard you say you were from New York. I lived in Manhattan for 30 years as a fashion designer in the heart of Manhattan. She was working as a fashion editor. I held it down with the 3 kids.
He's a fashion designer, all right. Gosh, well, there's the two vibes. There's the professional guy and the guy who looks like he can tell you what the rest of your life is going to look like. And I don't know which one I would want to go for.
I was the one bringing the money home. I was the one doing that. After my son, my youngest, went back to school, she went back to work. I always wanted to have my own collection. She was like, you should do that now. So guess what? She had the job. She paid the bills while I was building my company. So I could be strong in our relationship and be a man in our relationship, but I also got to know what it means to have a partner next to me, and not someone that I have to lead.
Well, I think it's really, really important to specify what leading means. And so right now we're talking about, you talked about, okay, we do the chores. Sometimes she pays more, sometimes I pay more. I think it's looking at a really superficial level. I think what you look at in a relationship, when you look at leadership and the one that is following per se, is who's the one holding down the emotional space? Like, who has the capacity to show up as the rock the majority of the time in a dynamic?
I want to show up as the Rock. That's going to be so cool. Come home from a day at work. Pff, it's about drive. It's about power. La, 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 la. That was a stupid joke. I'm moving on.
And if that is the woman, I believe, for the most part, the polarity gets thrown off and there will be a deficiency in the sexual attraction that she'll have for you. If you are more excessively emotional and unstable than your wife, I do believe that's going to lead to issues in the relationship.
A man's job is to be the mountain that a woman's emotional waves crash into, like straight up. So women are always going to be more emotional than men. Men should be the stable ones. Men don't need to be crying in front of women.
Always. University of Michigan says, are women more emotional than men? Not really, study finds. It's from Elite Daily. Men are actually more emotional than women. They just hide it better. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of stuff. That's just... Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. So, women get emotional because of excessive testosterone, right? And so men have a lot of it, therefore they become more emotional. Because they're angrier. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's literally like science-based that that's not true.
And ideally, they're not splitting chores. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I think that if a woman cannot look up to you in some way, then she cannot respect you. And if she cannot respect you, she cannot love you.
I totally disagree.
Yeah.
Totally disagree.
Yeah. So, and the only reason I didn't come sit down is because I have some really, really good women in leadership roles in my businesses, and they are absolute leaders. Now they might lead under me, but I think they stand alone as leaders, and I respect them enough that I would never come sit down over that particular statement. Because
I don't think it's just.
Oh shoot! No, that's not what I wanted.
In the sexual attraction that she'll have for you. If you are
over that particular statement, because it's too vague. But in the relationship, yes, sir, I do agree that a man should be the leader. He should be the breadwinner, and he should be the one solving all the problems out in the world and emotionally at home.
I feel like his opinion would change if he... I know he said he had his own business, but what if he was in another company and like he missed out on a promotion? I don't know if his answer would change or not.
I'm glad again that you two say for work it's fine, but when it comes to our relationship, I got to be the one to wear the pants. And okay, let's not say pants. We'll use the person's words. I got to be the mountain that her emotions crash into.
I have to be the Rock.
I tell you guys, we can be very
Dwayne
emotional
Johnson.
too. And I know there's a lot of guys in my 55 years that are way emotional than some of these women out here now that are taking charge. So I think that's
I agree with you.
No,
I
I agree
agree
with you.
They are, but if you notice,
and I don't think it hurts the relationship either.
And if you notice, isn't it weird that nowadays they're talking about all these single, sexless men and all these guys having issues. Why do you think that is?
They're becoming more emotional than ever.
Exactly.
I think women are putting up with less bullcrap.
No,
Yes,
no, they're not.
putting up.
I am not a sexless single guy.
No, I'm not saying you.
No, I'm just saying this. But
No one said you were.
my girlfriend is an emotional rock for me.
That's what I mean.
I'm sorry, but I gotta strongly disagree with everything you say. I'm also a breadwinner right now. It wasn't always like that though. She's going through a time and she wants to actually do something for herself, and I totally support that. But when it comes to an emotional, whatever you just said, that analogy, look, I mean, I think that's the problem also with a lot of toxicity that goes on, because a lot of men have emotions, you don't know how to express it, and then it turns into this opposite toxicity. How do I know this? I used to be one of them.
Me too.
Like it shows that a lot of these like rich millionaires are the ones that like have huge high divorce rates and things
I'm
of that.
still trying to figure out the tattoo on his neck. What is that? You know what it looks like? You know what it looks like? I know exactly what this looks like. Are you ready? Come on, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This is it. The guy from Nacho Libre getting a caricature of himself. You can't tell me that it doesn't at least make you think of it. Anyway, that is all.
That sort. And I think it's because they're just genuinely unhappy. Like, is your woman with you for your security, or did they actually like you as a person? And we're starting to see that, women want me at first, but I don't think it ends well, because after a while, like, they want you for your security. They don't want you for who you are as a person and things of that sort. And that's why we see these millionaires and all these, like, really alpha males getting high divorce rates, because I think at first it starts off with, like, security.
Money doesn't make you alpha.
Yeah, I think so.
No, not at all, man.
Nope.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm about to say you educate me. That's why I came here.
A man
Show me the video of the guy saying, you could be totally broke and be alpha. No, they would look at the poor person and be like, what's wrong with you? You gotta get up at 1 a.m. You gotta go and lift your truck for 30 reps, and then you got a cold shower, and then you got to take your alpha brain pills, and then you got to run outside, and then you find the closest man with a truck. You steal his truck, and then you drive to work. Then you walk straight up to your boss and say, I'm running this company now. And then you take his keys, and then you kiss his wife right in front of him, and you kick him out. And then you're going to say, this is going to be a man-making factory now. And then you open a gym. And then the gym is only available for men, and they have to pay $300 a month, or else they're not really a man. And then you get rich that way. Plain and simple. Just like Hustler University.
can just be friends with an attractive woman.
Can?
Cat.
No technicalities, bro.
So I think it's all about, again, as we've been saying before, it's all about choices. I think if you find a woman attractive, it depends on, are you going to choose to pursue her or not? But for some of us, like if we're speaking from personal experience, I've met many attractive women, and that's not the only thing that, I'm looking for. It's also about personality. So she can be a 10, but if it's like the personality is just, someone who doesn't challenge me on a spiritual level, emotional level, someone who also is like emotional.
What kind of dude wants to fuck everyone woman he's friends, everyone woman he... Sorry, I had an aneurysm.
Yes. Yes.
I'm being summoned from the floor. I'm almost done with this, all right? Hi, Yum Yum, how it's going?
And available, like, then it doesn't really matter.
I have friends who, like, I would consider very attractive, but then at the same time, and when I think about it, I wouldn't be able to stand like being alone in a room with them for like more than like 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
I can acknowledge if like certain female friends of mine are attractive, but doesn't mean I'm like sexually attracted to them. And it comes to a point where like I see them as like sisters or just such close friends that even like the thought of them naked
sisters.
like grosses me out, because like I just don't see them that way. I see them as like very close, like almost like family in some cases and things of that sort.
What do you mean? No, I'm not going to comment on that.
And sometimes like you grow up with certain women and you see them as like a sister and you see them as a close friend, and you just grow up and you don't see her like that.
Fundamentally, what's natural and what is possible, I think, are two different things. Is it natural to not be attracted to a very attractive woman to you? I don't think so. But with a lot of intention with it, and your priorities are elsewhere, and you're very intentional with how you're showing up in that space, I think you can do it. And I think that was the question, if it can be done, not if it's natural or not.
If I'm attracted,
What was the laughing? It was like the villains in a Disney movie. They're like, wow, we've cornered you now. Listen to these.
And if it can be done, not if it's natural or not.
if I'm attracted to you, honestly, I'm trying to smash. You understand? We gotta have sex, and we have to be in some type of sexual situation, or I don't really want to, interact with you. On top of that, I don't believe.
Cool. The only way I'm going to interact with you is if your butt is here on me. Cool. Glad to know where your priorities are.
Been giving women non-sexual attention unless we're in a relationship. And the reason why is because I feel like non-sexual attention from a man towards a woman is very valuable. So I'm not just giving you that just to be friends. So I'm saying, like, I'm not just going to do that for you. And so what it is that if I'm going to be from a man towards a woman is very valuable. So I'm not just giving you that just to be friends.
Okay, giving him what?
And the reason why is non-sexual attention unless we're in a relationship. And the reason why is because I feel like non-sexual attention from a man towards a woman is very valuable. So I'm not just giving you that just to be friends. So I'm saying, like, I'm not just going to do that for you. And so what it is that if I'm going to do that for you, you have to be under my program, which means that we're in some sort of sexual relationship.
Is he saying I'm not talking to anyone unless they're hot? Is that what it is?
Between me and you. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I look at that.
I think that men and women can be friends. It's just not because the man wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Most often, it's the man is trying to sleep with the woman.
Right.
And he's trying to hang around long enough for her to slip up and make that happen.
Yes, my real name is Randall. You nailed it on the head.
I mean, let's keep it 100.
Exactly.
Right? So, can they? Yes. And that would have been the technicality. Like, when I saw you moving, I'm like, let's get something in there, right? But overall, most of the time, you're not going to see a man be friends with a very overweight woman. You're not going to see a man be friends with a very unattractive woman unless there's some kind of financial reward there.
That's such a blanket statement. No.
By and largely, I don't buy guy friends, particularly with any girl I'm seeing. It's like, yeah, right.
I think when I think about it, like, and I had a technicality on the other side, because I'm like, yeah, part of me really believes that can happen. But then I go back to my experience in life and my friends, and it's really hard. I was running over there in my head, like, should I sit down? But I was running all these scenarios from life experience of my friends who have said that, girls and guys, because it's not just guys, and it's never worked out that way. It just never is. And I think if you find the person can be an attractive person, and you not find that person attractive and you be friends.
You have friendship and attraction.
That's my thing.
Yeah,
Part of a relationship is friendship and getting along. And then on top of it, you find that person attractive.
No way.
I just think it's a very rare thing. You know, yes, a person can be attracted to me and you not find them attractive, and I can be friends with that person. But if I'm finding that, or if you're finding that person attractive, and you build a friendship,
you connect,
and
yeah.
you connect,
And you probably want to be with them.
that's like, I don't think Adam and Micah say it doesn't exist, but to me, just again, in my experience in life and just knowing my friends and people, I don't know one that has worked out that way.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with like your own experiences. Obviously, if that's what you've seen or that's what you personally experienced, that like you yourself couldn't be in a friendship with.
What is happening? Sorry, I got distracted by Twitter.
With a woman, like, again, that's your personal experience though. Whereas the question is like, can a man, any man, be in a regular friendship with a woman?
Like a real friendship, like they're actually really friends.
Yeah.
And he not want to sleep with her and find her attractive? No.
I think it's BS.
Because like at that point, like we're also talking about like, now we're talking about like what is an attractive woman, right? Are we talking about just looks? Because in this case, like there are people who like honestly don't like
I'm
have
gonna
sexual
skip
like.
ahead.
A man should not cry in front of his kids.
You forgot to order teriyaki
Right.
sauce and you're going to end your life over it? That's a stupid reason. Come up with a better reason. Something like the void is getting bigger. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Popular. It's not going to be popular to say this. But ideally, you're not going to cry in front of your kids. They cry to you. Is it fair? No. Is life fair? No. Is the dynamic between a man, a woman, a child fair? No. But personally for me, I want to take that responsibility of being the one that's stronger than all of them. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that responsibility. I want that responsibility in my life. I want to feel like I was a hero to them in every way. And I don't think a man that cries in front of his family is not the hero. But ideally, I'm not going to be doing that.
Right. It's weird. I've never actually seen.
I feel
Ideally.
like this guy is the most level-headed out of every single person. It's like his core beliefs are just based around things that make sense. He's like, he does want to be the Rock. He wants to say it's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Do you like Hawaiian barbecue kiwi doodle? I haven't had it. I think I had it once. Doesn't matter. Anyway, well, it does matter. Hawaiian barbecue. That's no laughing matter, my good sir. This guy is like the least toxic, I would say, because he's just got like the family values in mind.
I'm not going to be doing that.
Right. It's weird. I've never actually seen my dad cry till this day. Like not even once. The kids is looking to their father for that strength. And so if they're seeing their dad cry, right, I feel like that creates fear in the situation the kid has with their father. If you're crying in front of your kids, it's the same thing as crying in front of your girl. It's a bad representation of what you're supposed to be in that situation for them.
Now I'll tell you when I do cry.
But the something can be bad though. You could have a bad situation that. What? Fruits? Okay, just give me 10 minutes. Freaking. All right, I'll be there in a sec. All right, one more base take, and then. This is a long video. I want to see how they ended off.
To like commune with, to like actually talk with.
Yes.
That way?
You didn't get to say.
Slow motion, cool walk off. He had to scoot around a chair. Beta, I knew it. All right, well, that's the end of that. The hell is this? Okay, let's see if we can raid anyone. No, I don't got time. I gotta go. Sorry. We'll play Fortnite on Wednesday. I'll be there. I'm not gonna raid you every single time. Why is Twitch not working? Come on. Can't load Jack. All right, Twitch's not even working, so I can't even start it. Thank you all for watching. Farewell. Enjoy life. Oh, goodbye.